Well, didn't I tell you this is what was going to happen? This is exactly what was supposed to happen and what they wanted to happen with the real estate business. I want to talk a little bit about that today because the market has changed. The way that we get paid or compensated has changed. And frankly, a lot of agents are scared. Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. We're doing a special episode tonight later in the day. Why? To shake you up, to figure out what the heck's going on right now. I wanted to talk a little bit about all of the changes that are happening in this market as a whole. See, we see the outside of what's going on, the changes that are happening, a lot of the articles that are being published, and that type of thing. What we're not really thinking about is the mental mindset of the real estate agent. What's happening to the high level real estate agent, to that mid level agent, and to those that have been struggling or only working their sphere of influence. So sometimes they got a lot of closings, sometimes they have nothing at all. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because those are the ones that have been in the most danger. And in reality, what's happened since this change of August 17th, these changes that have happened, is the big guys are eating up more business. They're making more money. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this before we started here today. I don't believe I've talked to any top producer that has kept their business the same or that it's went down since August 17th. Every single one of them is having the biggest business they've ever had in their life, attracting more business than ever before. And there's several reasons for that. Number one, they're not afraid. They're going directly into it. They're leaning into it and they're bumping up their marketing to get higher responses. Meanwhile, those that are timid, nervous, not real sure how to handle it, met with one client and they weren't willing to sign a contract, whatever their issue is, they're just pulling back their punches. They're actually defeated through forfeit. They're not losing the game, they're quitting the game. And there's an awful lot of agents that are doing just that. I want this to be a message of inspiration for you, but to actually get you doing what you're supposed to do. If you're doing that, your business is going up. This is a good thing. I got bad news for you. Being that if you're watching this live today, being that this happened 6 weeks ago, if you don't have at least 3 or 4 more buyers signed to a contract working with you, if you don't have at least 2 or 3 more sellers, like if you haven't met anybody, let's be honest, you're licensed and you're not practicing, right? That's not degrading in any way. That's just literally what's happening. You're licensed, and in the last 6 weeks, you haven't practiced. You're doing all kinds of other stuff. You're just not meeting with clients to help them with their real estate needs. But if you've only done this a couple of times, you really need to step up that approach you're using to gobble up more business for yourself. There's no question there's going to be carnage. There's going to be a large number of agents that are leaving. They're not leaving because of failure, they're leaving because of forfeit. If you try, you succeed. Now, obviously, you can't do silly things. You've got to do the more profitable approaches. But you look at like last week, or actually the week before last, I did that 3-part series, which was phenomenal. If you were on there, let us know in the chat. I did a 3-part series every evening for 3 nights in a row. And it was just phenomenal with the amount of info I gave, the direction and guidance that I gave to real estate agents. We talked a little bit about how to buy all their debt down and to create a net worth for themselves and all of that. It was so incredibly helpful. I probably had more feedback from those 3 parts than any other training I've ever done. I did it for free online. We had 5,000 agents in attendance. So it was very helpful. But I think the reason they're getting results, the reason we're seeing now these testimonials and things happening from that totally free training, is because they actually did something. I think I gave them the confidence, or they didn't have that fear of failure or that fear of rejection or all of those things that have, which by the way, you're in sales. You will have failure every day of your life, and you will have rejection every day of your life. Only you can create a situation where you don't have wins every day of your life. You're the only one that can stop you from doing that. But you have to be okay with those failures. You have to be okay with that rejection in order to get some of the wins. I talk about all the time. Kobe Bryant missed more shots than anybody in history. He has the record for the most failures. Babe Ruth, most strikeouts. I think Reggie Jackson was second. They also have an awful lot of home runs. They were swinging for the fences. You need to do exactly the same thing. So we went through that 3-part series, and it was just phenomenal. And the reason I changed our time for today's meeting is I wanted to tell you about something. With the feedback that I got and a couple of little changes that have happened in the economy, not the real estate market, but in the economy over the past week, I've decided I'm going to do a bonus session for everybody, part 4 of 3. We're actually going to do this, part 4 of 3 in this 3-part series. I want to do a little bonus session for everybody on how you acquire a bunch of money to create a net worth for yourself and do it in a very short period of time. So it'll be just like the other 3 that we did. This is going to be part 4 of 3 in that 3-episode series because there's been a couple of changes. You'll see that date of these changes happened after we did that 3-part series. And it's such a great opportunity for those that can acquire big money in short bursts. So, you go out and get 2 closings. People don't even believe this. That's like 15 grand. 20 grand. There's so much you can do with that. So I'm actually doing a free training for everybody. If you were already on that list, you're going to get it. We've got the recordings of those 3 parts, and it's been phenomenal. But I always want to try and give as much value as possible with no ulterior motive or anything like that to try and help all of our followers, and most importantly, help agents with the direction they need with all the crap that's been thrown out there lately, and truly trying to make us the bad guys. Last election year, it was the cops. Defund the cop. Now we're trying to defund the real estate agents. So, we're the bad guy. We're the criminals. We've been taking all the equity from everybody forever. We've all always been overpaid. Meanwhile, we're just trying to pay the bills. So I think providing that guidance and that step-by-step approach that we need, that was the big help with that 3-part series. By the way, on that page where I had those 3 videos and, the downloads or whatever was included there, I had the dry erase board where I was kind of drawing everything out, showing you the math behind this and how you get started if you're on a low budget and all of that. On those recordings, I'm doing this 4th session the day after tomorrow. If you're watching this, I believe it's going to be, is that October 3rd? Can you believe it's already the last quarter of 2024? But I believe it's going to be Thursday evening. And I'm going to add session 4 onto that page where you have all of them together. And you're going to have everything you need. You can go back, you can review it, you can utilize it in your own business. Again, starting with $0 if you need to generate buyer and seller closings for yourself. You can tell it's evening because the sun has decided it's coming in for a moment here. But I'm going to add that to the page so you can review that as often as you need and truly implement that in your own business. Now, by the way, if you don't have that, leave a comment right here. Just say, I want it. If you type in, I want it, I'll make sure and get you a copy of all 4 parts of the 3-part series. Just comment right here on YouTube, I want it. And as long as you're following this page and you ring the bell, you turn on notifications, I'm going to get you a copy of all of that so we can start building your business. We can create that change that needs to happen for you, because the biggest change I've seen, there's 2 of them that I've seen. Number 1, those that have good businesses, they're making more money than they ever have before. This is the best thing that's ever happened to them. Many of them, I don't care if you agree with it or not. I'm just telling you what I've seen. You may not agree with their practices. Some of them are getting 3.5% and 4% on buyer representation. These buyers can go with anyone. They can get somebody to help them for 1%. They're getting 3.5% and 4%. They've never been so excited that now nobody else dictates their income. They get to earn what they're worth. They can earn whatever they negotiate. They can earn whatever they can create a value stack to be worth that money to them. So they're doing very, very well. And the other thing, number 2, that I've seen is those that don't have clear direction, that don't know what to do every day. They're not losing through failure. They're losing through forfeit. They're simply not trying. They're giving up. They're not making a real effort because they're afraid they're going to get in front of someone and it may not go well, or they're going to run ads and they may not get a point. They may not get leads from that. But let me assure you, I want to guarantee you one thing: if you're getting in front of people, there are going to be times it doesn't go well. If you swing at a ball, there's going to be times that you get a strike, but there's also going to be times that you get a home run. I'd recommend you swing. It's a whole lot better than standing there, letting the business blow by you over and over and over. So we are seeing that massive change in the business. And I think if you make your change, look, the sun is going to race me here for me to get done before it's right in my eyes. But if you are really doing a good job of promoting your services, what it is that you offer, and leaning into that fear, and knowing the only way you're going to do better is to meet more people, to get more appointments, to sign more contracts, to negotiate more commissions, whatever that structure is, this is how you're going to make it happen. I think you'll find that getting that direction and actually implementing it the right way, it's going to make a big difference for you. One of the big tips for so many agents, I gave away that little list that we had there that you can give to clients called Real Estate Fees Explained. And I want you to write that down. That describes what happened and the changes and how you're supposed to pay your agents now, and the difference between commission and compensation and all the crap that's going on, just so there's clarity for your client, so you can become the educator. You can become the advisor for them. You're the real estate advisor that shows them this is how it works. We created a document that's just phenomenal, and I gave it to agents for free. You can use that with all your clients. You can send it to your sphere to ask for referrals or ask for their business and that type of thing. But it's an educational based piece. So that's something we've been giving to agents as well. As a matter of fact, I might even put that on that replay page where you can see all 4 parts, and I'll just download that for everybody. Again, if you would like to see that, just say in here, I want it, in the comments. Just leave a little comment here, and we'll make sure that you can get a copy of it. But this is how you're going to make a change. I promise you, waiting is never going to help you. That is never a good idea. Time fixes nothing. Time is not going to fix a sales business. It's never going to get easier. You're never going to be more ready. You're never going to feel more prepared. You just have to go out there and do it. And this separation that I'm seeing every time I talk to somebody that's doing well, they're simply confident. So they're implementing and they're getting results. But those people that lack that confidence, they're losing through forfeit. They're not losing through failure. I wish I could get them to fail more. If I could get them to fail, damn, they'd win. They'd get some wins and some losses. But if you're forfeiting, you're causing yourself to fail for fear that you're going to fail. You're guaranteeing your failure so that you don't have bad results sometimes. It doesn't really make sense. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I just wanted to kind of get your attention and jar you up a little bit, shake you up and say, look, if you've went through those 3 sessions and you've implemented, I already see the testimonials coming. I already see you're getting those results. And that's great. Like I say, there's no ulterior motive. But part 4, I think, is really designed because an awful lot of agents have replied to me and said, Greg, if I could just get 20 grand where I could really play this thing out the right, if I had the cash flow that I need, if I could just get $15,000 or $20,000, if I could pay this off, if I could invest in this, whatever, I would be in a different position. I'm going to do part 4. I'm going to show everybody exactly how that happens. So that is coming up here. I believe I'm doing it Thursday night. If you were on that initial list and, or one of those, we can only get 5,000 people on Zoom, you'll get to watch it live. But for everybody that in the comments here, you say, I want it, I'll make sure that you can get a copy of the recording the next day. You'll get a copy of not only part 4, but we're going to include the Real Estate Fees Explained form that you can just put your info at the bottom and send it to all of your lists and start generating some business that way. And we're also going to give you all 4 parts of the 3-part series. How creative is that? So it wasn't really planned or anything, but like I say, there's been some changes. I'm sure you've seen how the investing world's changed a little bit. And that's the type of thing you need to know. If you're over 40, you need to know where you should be putting your money and how you build a real net worth for yourself. I don't think there's anybody that I know. There's no other coach in the country that's created more documented millionaires, CPA certified millionaires than I have. It's what we do with GLMC. If you become a member of the Greg Luther Millionaire Club, we have gotten certification that you have a net worth of over $1 million. An awful lot of those people, they might have come to me at 40 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old. We've got agents involved with us that are 80 years old. And they're like, Greg, I got 5 years left in me. Can we make it happen? And that's the people I love working with. If you want to really go big and put in 3 to 5 years of solid effort, you're going to come out the other end looking very, very good. The other option is to not do that. It's to keep doing what you've been doing. But if you're trying to get bigger results, I don't care what your age is. I care what your actions are so you can change your approach. There's an awful lot of real estate agents that are in this business for 40 years and they just live the same year 40 years in a row. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over. A little better when the economy's a little better, a little worse when the economy's a little worse. And until you can make that rapid change, you're not going to see big change in your business. There's nothing in the way. It doesn't matter if you don't understand tech. It doesn't matter if you don't have money. All of that stuff is a facade that make you feel better about why you're not taking action on this free, easy stuff that you can be utilizing. So anyway, I'm going to do that for everybody. I'll get a little email out. I've had a cold for the last couple of days. Sudafed has my eyes dried out. Now I'm burning. I didn't want to do it today or tomorrow. I'll probably do it Thursday. I believe I'm going to do it Thursday, but I will get a link out to everybody as well. So I'm happy to help. If you've got any questions that you want answered or whatever, you can always email me. My email address, greg@gregluther.com. So you can email me with any questions. But otherwise, I'll get it out to everyone. And again, provided you type in here, I want it, I'll get it over to you so you can see all 4 parts of the 3-part series. My recommendation for you, by the way, we've got an awful lot of, also, I forgot to mention, there is a catch. You got to be following the page and ring the bell to turn on notifications. If you're not following the page, I'm not sending it to you. It's the only way we can send back. So make sure you are following your page. But you know what would be really helpful for this industry? For all of us as real estate agents, I'll bet you that you know some agents that need a little more gumption, or they need a little more confidence, or they need a little more being okay with occasional failures and all of that stuff. Share this link with them. Have them follow this stuff. We have very nearly 1,000 videos right here on my YouTube channel that can help that real estate agent. So do me a favor, tag them in the comments or type their name in the comments, or better yet, just hit share, that little, I think it's a right arrow or something on YouTube, and let them know about this thing. If you have to, copy and paste up here at the top, just copy and paste that big long domain name and just email it to them. Because we've got to help everybody we can to not only survive, but thrive in this industry. I think all we need is to know, hey, there's a little bit of change in direction. Let's get the instruction we need so we can succeed. I want to help every single agent I can. There's no sense in people failing. There's no sense in people forfeiting. And I think there's way too much of it happening. You should not be excited thinking that's competition. Let me tell you who's leaving. It doesn't mean more business for you. They're leaving because they had no business. There's none left for you. They weren't getting any. They're leaving because they weren't taking action. They're not leaving because they have a little bit of business. They're leaving because they have none. So it doesn't mean more business for you. Let's help every single agent that we can and get them closing business too. So you should see, I think my staff even put in there, if you don't subscribe to this channel, click the little YouTube link that you see in the chat there, or maybe up in the live chat or whatever, so you can follow this page and we'll get you making some money. Part 4, if you are watching this live, I'm recording this on October 1st, late in the day. If you are watching this live, you will get to see part 4. If you are watching it later, you can get the recording. Just type in here, I want it. Happy to help everybody out. I think you're going to like this new thing we're going to talk about. I'm actually going to bring up stocks and bonds and investments and retirement accounts and what you should and shouldn't do and all of that stuff. And I'll show you some stuff I'm doing and some new changes that have been made that help real estate agents tremendously grow your business, grow your net worth, and get going in the right direction. So I think you'll find it helpful. It's definitely intriguing for sure. I was very interested when I found out about it myself. We'll talk to everybody soon. I'm Greg Luther. Thanks so much for watching. And most importantly, thanks to you and your business for taking action and making yourself some money. Get out there, go close something, and we'll talk soon. I'm Greg Luther. Bye-bye for now.